Hello friends, welcome to my channel Testing Matters, and today we will write a code for right clicking a element and hovering a element. This question is asked very frequently in automation testing interviews, and I will write the code and explain each and every step. So let's create one class. This is the class name I have created. This will be a test.ng script. So I am using test annotation. This is the method I will be using. We will set the system property webdriver dot chrome dot driver to the path where my Chrome driver is stored on my laptop. So this is the path where Chrome driver is stored on my laptop. This is the key and this will be its value. So we have set this property. We need to import the test annotation from org.testng.annotations package. So this error is removed now. Now we will create a WebDriver. We have created a driver object, and since we are going to run this in Chrome, I will specify Chrome driver. We need to import the WebDriver interface and the Chrome driver as well. Import Chrome driver. So the driver has been created successfully. Now we will specify the URL on which we will be going to perform these actions. So I will use Google. Let me copy from the browser the URL for Google. So now this will open the google.com and we will perform two actions. One is the hovering and the other one is right clicking. So we are going to hover on this element of the web page and we will right click on the search box like this. So we need to create a web element for it. App equal to driver dot find element by XPath. Now we need XPath for this element first. This is a anchor tag and it has some attributes like class and one href. This href looks very unique, so I will use this in the XPath. So let us test the XPath which we are going to use here. / tag name, square bracket, @ attribute name, which is href in this case, is equal to the value that I copied. So we will use this in our code. Quotes, quote close, and semicolon. So we have created a web element and stored its locator in apps web element. We need to import the web element class as well. Similarly, we will create another web element, search box is equal to, let's find its locator. So this is it. It is a text area element and it has an ID which looks quite unique. And we can use this ID itself to create a locator for this. So let me copy this ID and driver.find element by ID. Here we will specify the ID which we copied from the inspector. So now we have both the web elements with us. Now we need to perform the actions, that is hover as well as right click. So in order to hover, we need to use actions class. We'll create an object and we will mention new actions and give driver as an argument. And now we need to import the actions class as well. And import it successfully. Act dot for hover, we will use the method called move to element. Move to element will move to the target element, which is apps in this case. We will simply specify the element and we will, in order to perform the action, we need to use the perform method. Okay. Similarly, after performing this action, our next action is act dot right click. For right click, there is a method called context click, and the target method on which we want to right click, which is search box in our case, we will specify it here. So these are the two actions which we are going to perform one by one, and I will create a waiting time between this so that you are able to see it properly. It throws an exception, interrupted exception. So I am adding a throws along with the method. So these are the two actions we are trying to perform using this class. So let me run it and see how it works. This question is asked very frequently in the test automation interviews. And by learning this, you can increase your chances of getting selected in the interviews. So it hovered on the apps, and after that it is expected to do the right click. So I don't think it has done the right click. So let me check. Okay, we forgot to mention the perform here as well, so that it performs both the actions. Remember, here we are using perform for both the actions separately. There is a better way to do it as well, but let me show you through this way first. Chrome browser opened at the bottom. Okay. First, it will perform the hover. Hover has been performed. Now we are waiting for the right click on the search box. Clicked. Right click is also done. So both our actions are achieved. First, we move to an element to hover, and then we right click this element search box through the context click method and performing those both the actions. They are performed. Now I'm closing this browser and I will share another method to perform multiple actions in one go. Here we perform both the actions step by step, but there is another way to do it. Just that we will not use the create the object of action class as well. We can do without it. This will save the time we are spending in coding. We can remove this thread that is not no more needed, because in these kind of coding statements we cannot use any other code in between. So they are in sequence. We have removed the semicolon as well. We created a actions object. We defined the first action of moving to this element, and then we specified the next action, which is right click, and we will do only one perform, and it will perform all the sequence of action in one go. So this is another way to do it, just that there will not be any wait between. So you have to look at the execution of the code carefully so that you are able to see both the actions. So I am going to run this again with a more precise and concise code. Chrome driver started successfully. Hovered and right clicked successfully. Both the actions are performed. I hope you were able to see the hovering here like this, but it was for a fraction of a second. So that's why we have to look at it carefully. And now, as it is a good practice to close the browser window and quit the session by using driver.quit. So there is another common interview question, that what is the difference between driver.close and driver.quit. So driver.close is going to close the current window, and the session will remain intact even if you close the window. But when we use driver.quit, it is done to close the session as well. Session will no more exist after that. So this is the difference. This is close is for just closing one window, the current window, and quit is to end the session. So let us run it again using a better practice of closing the browser. Otherwise, there will be so many windows if you don't close it manually while running the automation. So it is a good practice to close the browser and quit it to end the session. So I am running it for one last time. It performed both the actions and it closed automatically. Here is the status. One test case passed, 1 out of 1. one method passed, and this was the method name, right click over, and this is the class name under simple package. So to summarize this, first we learned how to hover on an element on the web page, and then for hover we use move to elements method of actions class, and then we learned how to right click a element through context click method of actions class. So hope you learned something new through this video. If my video has added some value to your automation skills, then don't forget to like this video and share it among your colleagues, your friends, and your family. And happy testing. Have a nice day.